Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another Sabbath presentation. Today we will be talking about the Feast of Tabernacles because lo and behold, it has started. Today is the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles. So we're excited to talk to you about certain things that happen or that have happened and that will happen and that can happen during this time, even in our current time and place.
And tabernacling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So sit back, enjoy. Let us dive into what it means to properly celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. So
And just remember that there is a tradition around tabernacles that's associated with getting drunk. So
absolutely.
you could very well be absolutely diving in to your tabernacle.
Absolutely.
or
Absolutely.
diving or falling into your tabernacle, as the case it may be.
That's all. I didn't lift my feet high enough.
Well, Yeshua was a wine bibber. I still haven't been told what the controversy would be if it was grape juice bibbing. So
Yeah, me neither.
I haven't been told. I asked.
Is
but I
that
never
is
get
that
an
kind of like along the same lines as a tea bibber?
answer. Yes, I do like my
Yeah.
tea too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's scandalous that TV.
Absolutely.
Still bibbing around here. So
Yeah.
we are professional bibers.
You're getting paid for it?
Oh wow.
Okay.
Where's the money?
The secret is out. Okay.
I'm very good. So we're going to start off in Leviticus chapter 23. Josh, do you want to start us off on this slide, starting with verse 33?
Sure. And the Lord and Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast.
Stop.
Okay.
Sorry. So we're in the 7th month.
Or moon. We're in the
moon.
7th moon. I know it says month, but
Yeah.
if you go look at the word behind it, moon.
We're in the 7th moon. We're in the 7th moon. We're only 14 days after the Day of Atonement, which is not the New Year, not the
5 days. We're 5 days after the Day of Atonement.
Oh, sorry.
I think we go back to that.
It's trumpets. I was
Trumpets.
It's trumpets.
Fine, you're fine, you're fine.
Okay. I said the wrong holiday. My apologies. It's trumpets. 14 days after trumpets.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is the same moon as Tabernacles, which is the 7th moon. It is not the first moon.
So you
It
mean
is
we're
the
not
7th.
15 days after the Feast of Trumpets?
No, we're not. Really?
Impudence trumpets.
Anyway,
Ben's a little buzzed.
he is a little buzzed. So it's the 15th day of the 7th moon. Go ahead, Josh.
The 15th day of the 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto Yahweh.
Wait, is it just one or 3 days?
No, it's 7 days.
Okay, 7 days. It's a whole week.
And what kind of symbology goes with 7?
Perfection
And complete.
Oh,
and completeness. Yeah.
the perfection and completeness. Correct.
Wow.
On the first day
Yes.
shall be a holy convocation.
Wait, so today was a Sabbath. It is a holy convocation. What shall we do? John?
Wait a minute. Can I interject just
Yes,
a little bit?
please do.
So, if the 15th of the 7th moon is a Sabbath, and the 15th of the first moon is a Sabbath, does that mean lunar Sabbaths are true?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, you have a point, my guy. Yes.
Just maybe.
Just one
There's a
thing you would
chance.
like
There's a really good chance.
conclusive.
Oh, gosh.
I
Oh, no.
want to bring out here is tabernacles.
Okay.
Yes. Tabernacles. What was the tabernacle?
It was their
It was the
It was
place
the
in the congregation of Israel where God, where Yeshua dwelt. Yes.
right,
That's the tabernacle.
right.
So
Mm-hmm.
now the Feast of Tabernacles, it's called the Feast of Tabernacles because it's everybody's supposed to make a booth. And you're supposed to stay in that booth for 7 days if you're keeping the Feast of Tabernacles. So now the main thing, you may notice that we are in a permanent structure here.
Mm-hmm.
There is a tradition surrounding the Feast of Tabernacles. It's meant to be kept at Jerusalem. And so that's just an interesting little thing related with all of these holidays in the seventh moon related to the temple. A lot of people believe that temple is in Jerusalem. That temple, that tabernacle, that place where Yeshua has put his name is in Jerusalem. We will find what you will find is that place in modern Revelation is Zion.
Yes, but in addition, even in the Old Testament, you'll find out they kept the high holidays the place where his name was kept, and it was not always only Jerusalem.
Right.
And they've had temples in multiple places. In fact, in the New Testament, Yeshua brings out how the Jews destroyed the Samaritans' temple. He didn't say the temple was wrong. It's just that they were fighting with each other where it should be. Okay.
Right.
And in addition, throughout the Old Testament, there's been more than just the temple at Jerusalem. And it doesn't say that there's only one place. That is a false tradition. It says where he placed his character. Oh, I mean name.
And I will
Well,
agree with that.
and so the original tabernacle was mobile, correct?
Absolutely. It was a
it was a
tent.
basically a
Temporary.
It was
temporary dwelling. Yes,
It was a temporary shelter, and you could break it down and you could move with it wherever you were going, and then erect it again once you got to wherever it was you were going.
Yes.
Yeah. Now that place, I love that Stephen brought out that idea of the place where Yeshua has put his name. Now, when we talk about the name of Yeshua, are we talking about a name that you can just spout out like a magical talisman? Or are we talking about something that's far deeper, that's far more effective?
Oh, definitely far more effective.
Far more affecting, and I would say far more sacred.
Yes.
His character, how you should behave, how you should carry yourself.
Is your home in his character?
Mm.
Are you keeping his Torah? Are you walking in his footsteps, or at least doing your best to do so? Because most of us don't know, most people do not know fully, the ins and outs of Torah.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because I think a lot of people get a little overwhelmed.
Yes.
But as in Acts 15 brings out, you keep learning. Okay.
Right.
It's not something you're going to get all at once. But if you're not striving to meet with a Torah focused group on the Sabbath and learning more, you're breaking what's brought out in Acts 15, which is not the first time it's brought out. It's in the first five books of Moses, what was going on in Acts 15 and those requirements. I would just have to look at my notes to remember where, because it's hard to remember everything.
Right.
But it's from they're reiterating what's in the five books of Moses. So
Right.
So,
Right.
so and then to go on to the next verse.
Well,
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
So Can I interject something about tabernacles?
Yes.
Yes.
So in the New Testament, it does bring out how Yeshua was tabernacled.
Yes. And we will get to that verse of scripture later on.
Oh, okay. Then I won't go too much
So
into
let
that.
me, let me just go back to that whole thing of the first day shall be an holy convocation. And the first day is the 15th day of the moon.
Mhm.
Well, yes, the moon. I did say that on purpose.
Yes, I know.
And so it shall be a holy convocation. The only way that the 15th day of the seventh moon is always on a Sabbath is through the lunar Sabbath.
Right.
And it shows that Yahweh's calendar is as it was in the creation, determined by the sun and the moon.
Mhm.
As in referencing Genesis 1:14 and 16.
And if your
Right.
Sabbath, if the Sabbath you are keeping is not based on the cycles of the sun and the moon,
And you're not keeping the Sabbath day holy.
mostly on the cycle of the moon, you are not on Yahweh's calendar and you are not keeping his Sabbath.
Correct.
This is just a simple
Well,
fact.
not all the way. You're
This is
yeah,
just a
for the
simple
bulk of the time
fact,
you're not
and I'm-
keeping the Sabbath. Correct.
This is and as I was saying, this is just a simple fact. I'm not saying that to sentence anybody to hell. I'm just stating a simple fact that if you are not keeping the Sabbath according to Yahweh's calendar, which is set by the sun and the moon, you are not keeping the Sabbath.
His Sabbath. You might be keeping your own Sabbath.
Yeah.
But
You're not
You
keeping.
won't-
You're not keeping his Sabbath. You're not
Correct.
honoring his Sabbath, and therefore you are breaking one of the 10 divisions of Torah.
Yes, indeed.
and to be specific, the fourth.
The fourth. Yes.
Yes.
So, Josh, finish 35 for us, will you?
Right. So I'm just going to start from the beginning because we
Yeah.
kind of didn't even make it the whole way through a one-line verse. So here we go. On the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
So, what is servile? What is servile?
So I don't know the dictionary definition, but it's what your work that you're paid to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is correct. So continue, Josh, in verse 36.
7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. And the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you, another Sabbath.
Yes.
And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. It is a solemn assembly. And ye shall do no servile work therein. So the first day you shall do no servile work. On the 8th day you shall do no servile work. They are both Sabbaths.
Okay, so here's an interesting thing. It's on the 15th day of the seventh month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles. Going back to verse 34, the 15th day of the seventh month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto Yahweh. So is the 8th day a part of the Feast of Tabernacles, or is it its own thing?
It's its own thing.
It's a sound.
I was going to
It's-
say, it seems to be its
connected.
own thing, just the way that it's written in the verse.
A lot of people like to call it the eighth day.
Yes.
So
And we'll go into differences and offerings and everything.
And actually, I've seen some Hebrew roots teachers who actually teach of it as another holy day, separate from Feast of Tabernacles.
yeah, I would consider it different. And I will also say it's symbolic of life after mortality, so eternity.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because it's like, well, you're here, you might as well kind of stay. You don't have to, but the question is, do you want to be with Yahweh for eternity or not? I know
I
what
mean,
I
that-
want. I don't know about other people, but
Well,
I
that is
want
the
to be with
ultimate
him.
question. Ultimately, that is the ultimate question. Where do you want to be?
And the question is the other thing is that 8th day is a Sabbath. So
It is. Yes.
traveling, traveling is rather limited on that day
Yeah, so let's get
if you are keeping the Sabbath.
yeah, so let's get into some little technicalities here. It's if you're carrying a burden. So if you're carrying stuff to go back home on that day,
That would qualify.
that would qualify because if you're carrying stuff to go back home, that's carrying a burden. If you're just walking around,
That's different.
despite what
That's
the
different.
Pharisees might tell you, there is not a number of steps on the Sabbath you may or may not take. The issue is burdens.
Yeah. Well, what if your car is
Right.
carrying the burden?
Huh?
I think you're looking for loopholes.
The other question is, how big are you?
He's getting Pharisaic on us.
But yes, the other point is interesting. How if the eighth is the Sabbath, this is an inclusive count, so 15 plus 8's 22. This also goes along how the 15th and the 22nd are always of the moon are always Sabbaths.
Yes.
Weekly Sabbaths.
Which
to be
completely
specific.
makes sense. Yeah. Well, mathematically that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and according to the cycle of the moon, it makes sense.
Well, yes. Right. Okay, moving on.
Yes.
Verse 37. Here we go. These are the feasts of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. A burnt offering, that's one. A meat offering,
Or bread.
or bread. A sacrifice, and drink offerings. Everything upon his day.
So I do want to bring out for preferably this burnt offering would be done with wood, which
Right.
represents trees. Wood comes from trees the last time I checked.
Generally, yeah.
And trees represent people. And so this is bringing out how we need to continually work on purifying ourselves because fire is judgment. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it goes along with correcting yourself. If you don't are able to judge what's right and wrong, you won't be able to know how to correct yourself. But
Right.
the burnt offering has to do with purifying. Okay, so
Right.
it would be best to use
Like
wood,
going
but
through
if
the
you're
refiner's fire, kind of.
yeah,
Yes.
that is a very good illusion there.
Yeah.
But I would say a candle is at minimum okay, right?
Right.
Precise.
And that's now, is that every day that these offerings have to be made?
I believe the scripture said it was every day.
It's every day.
The burnt offering, if you're talking about the burnt offering of
It
wood,
is a
it's
continuous.
supposed to be perpetual.
It's a
Yeah.
continuous offering made
So,
by fire.
That's
So it's
every
not to
day.
go out.
That's
Ever.
Yes.
so
Ever.
the perpetual burnt offering is done by the church, not something each individual needs to do. So just so that we know the difference between these things.
That's what I was getting at is everyone supposed to keep a perpetual fire burning the
No.
entirety of the
Let's
7
wait,
days?
Josh.
Oh, so let's keep reading it and find out that, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
let's keep it-
All right. So
Okay.
verse 38 now. Beside the Sabbaths of Yahweh, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings, which ye give unto Yahweh.
So one thing that's interesting in verse 38, it recalls D&C LDS 59 about how the Sabbath is not the only day you can do your vows, or as in baptisms,
Right.
renewing of covenants, or making new covenants, which goes along with the vows that's here in Leviticus 23, 33 through 34, which is actually on what day? Oh yeah, the Sabbath.
Sabbath.
You can do it any day, but there is a preference on the Sabbath if practical. Okay.
Yes.
So here's
Okay.
an interesting thing. That verse 38 is actually connected to verse 37 by the.
Yes, it is.
I do realize that the punctuation was put in later, but according to the punctuation, it's connected to verse 37 by a colon. And a
Yes, it
colon
is.
indicates that this is a supporting idea,
Right. Yes.
or it's subsequent to. So it's like all of these offerings are what Israel is supposed to do, along with keeping the Sabbaths.
Right.
Oh, on purpose, because there's 3 types of Sabbaths.
Yeah.
The
okay?
Sabbaths of Yeshua, and giving their gifts
And their vows.
and their vows,
Free will
and their free will
offerings.
offerings.
Right.
So this is all of that. All of those offerings in verse 37 are beside the basic every person's responsibility.
Yes.
They're beside it,
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
which means that they are the offerings that are beside every person's responsibility are not the responsibility, therefore, of every person.
Right.
Continue on, Joshua, in 39.
Also, in the 15th day of the seventh month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto Yahweh 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
There you
And
go.
ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and ye shall rejoice before Yahweh your Elohim 7 days.
Yahweh Elohim.
Okay.
Your God is Elohim
Okay.
in the Hebrew. Just it's
Thank you. Appreciate it. And ye shall keep it a feast unto Yahweh 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Boy, he keeps pounding on that 7th
but
month.
there's something else in that verse that's really important here. It shall be a statute forever.
What does
For
forever mean? Can you guys
ever.
remind me?
That means always and forever. It means like never ends. Like it doesn't end ever.
Forever means what I want it to mean.
But there's
You need to raise your hand before you speak.
forever means forever means exactly what it means,
Which is what?
which is
Forever.
It's never ending.
An exceptionally long period of time.
Well, that's if you ask the LDS Church,
I know.
which is really good at twisting the actual words of Scripture. Where
Well, they're not the only ones, just so.
forever is not a very long period of time. Forever is never ending.
Yeah.
Forever means that time is not marked to this statute.
Right.
And is Zechariah 14 brings out how it's during the millennium. So
Yep.
if you think you're supposed to do it and then it takes away and then bring it back, it sounds like you have Elohim that can't make up his mind.
Yes.
Yeah, or also an Elohim that does not know the definitions of words, such as the forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Josh, continue on at 42.
So 42, this is an interesting one. So I want to get you guys' take on this verse. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. That's not the part I'm talking about. That's pretty obvious. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. That's pretty obvious. But all that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
Born again.
What's your take on that?
Born again.
All that are Israelites born.
Born again, dude.
Born again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
the facts of the matter are, when you are born again, you are no longer a Gentile.
You're an
You are
Israelite.
now an Israelite born.
Yeah, and
Right.
even on the bloodline, you're not really Israelite if you're not born again, because Israel means those who have wrestled with Yah and man and
Overcome.
overcome.
Yes. But there are people out there who take this literally.
Right, there,
Well, it is. I am being literal. So
yeah,
No,
there,
no, but they're talking about a specific, like,
Blood.
yeah, they're doing blood, but they're
Right.
forgetting the definition of Israelites. In addition, they're forgetting how oh, I think it was John the Baptist in the New Testament brought out how those who believe in the revelations, I mean rocks of Yahweh, will become Israelites.
right.
yeah,
No,
and so-
I agree. I'm not arguing the point. I'm just saying that I wanted you all to speak on that briefly because there are a lot of people out there who twist this.
there are whole religions that are set up around bloodlines. And one of the among them would be Hebrew Israelites. Among them would be the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And there are several others. I can't remember all of them right now.
Mhm.
And this is where they don't even understand what the word Hebrew means, which means crossed over.
Yes.
Right.
Crossed over from the natural man to the ways of Yah.
Right.
Therefore, they have crossed over from Gentile to Israel.
Born again.
Correct. And they are Israelites born.
For it, yeah.
Born again.
And therefore they are Israelites born.
Yeah, this is the thing. A lot of people think that born again is just something that happens when you have an electrifying experience at church. And you're not literal. I'm not speaking of actual physical electrocution, but I'm saying you had this marvelous experience at a church while you were worshiping. Suddenly you feel like you're born again, whatever, but you're still doing the same old things. Have you really been born again?
Yeah, it sounds like you're an old person with new excuses, if that's what's
Yeah.
going on. If you're born again, you're a new person or a new creature that wants and has the desire to follow Yahweh's ways, and not someone that has the desires to make excuses for your sins.
Correct.
Right. Right.
And and you're also not looking for ways to abuse grace.
Yes.
Correct. Yes.
Or
All right. Well, I just wanted to touch on that briefly because that was something that I came across today while I was studying, and I was like, a lot of people will get this twisted.
yeah.
For sure.
So, all right. Anyways, moving on.
Yes.
That your generations may know that I made the children of Yisrael to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am Yahweh Eloheinu. Did I do that right, Ben?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And so this
All right.
is actually one of those things. This is why a lot of times people like to go camping at the Feast of Tabernacles, as
We did last year.
we did last year.
It was great. It was amazing.
Because we're supposed to at this time remember how Yahweh caused the children of Israel to dwell in booths as they came to the promised land.
Correct.
Yes.
Now, I won't say too much because it sounds like we may talk more about this later, but there's the physical level, there's the
Yes.
obvious level, and then there's a deeper
The
level,
spiritual,
such as
yes.
we were born into a tabernacle of clay. Okay.
Yes.
But what I get from John, we're going to talk more about that later.
Yes.
So I
And
won't.
John chapter 2, which I do have a slide dedicated. Josh, finish the
Yes.
finish that.
And Moshe declared unto the children of Yisrael the feasts of Yahweh.
There you go.
Boom.
So
Wait a minute. Does this mean we should fast or eat?
eat.
Feast
Oh,
would
feast means
suggest
stuffing
No,
a face with food.
That
Yes.
E was meant to have been redacted.
Oops. Oh, dang it. Too late now.
You should have told us that earlier.
I gotta read these
Go
documents.
ahead and hit the next
All right,
one.
yeah.
All right. So Zach, got a very important one for you. Do you mind reading Deuteronomy chapter 16, 13 through 22, please?
Sure.
And mind the interruptions that we're good at doing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
13. Thou shalt observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days. After that thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine.
Oh.
Okay.
So they give us a rough time
This is
frame.
right after harvest.
Harvest.
Yeah, this is right after harvest. The seventh moon falls during the harvest season.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so this is helping us to know what time of the year to do this. Now, I don't know a good way to say this, but I'll say it this way. This helps us to know what type of Greek season to do this, and I'm saying it that way on purpose, as in this is during the fall time. And which the reason I say it that way, because season in the scriptures, a lot of times, if not most,
Mhm.
it goes to the word moed, which goes along with appointed time,
Yep.
which is when Yahweh tells us to do something, he has an appointment with us.
Mhm.
But this is helping us know that the Feast of Tabernacles happens during the time of harvesting thy grain, which is the corn. The corn's not the best translation in today's English. English has changed.
Now, is that the new wine or is that the?
So you don't just gather in wine that has to do with the grapes that creates the wine,
Okay.
which
Right.
can new wine is give or take 7 to 14 days old wine.
Correct.
So
Right.
This corn and thy wine, the grape harvest is usually finished by the 15th day of the seventh moon.
now another interesting little tidbit: the white stuff on your grapes when you buy them from the grocery store is yeast, and it's enough
Yes.
to make wine.
Yes.
So in a sense, it is you're harvesting wine because you got all the ingredients right there.
Yeah.
Boom.
Anyway,
Yep.
All right. Zach, 14.
And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast.
well,
Thou
wait a minute. What is rejoicing?
Sorry, no.
You need to raise your hand, even though you're the host or presenter.
No, but it's a happy time. Rejoice.
No.
Time of rejoicing is a time of happiness. It's a time of
It's a time of
celebration.
happiness, usually. And here's another thing. So if we go to deeper levels, right? Wine represents joy.
Why
If-
does it represent joy?
It represents
Atonement, which
Yeah.
gives us joy.
Right.
I just want to throw
Yes.
that.
Yes. Thou shalt rejoice in thy feast. Why is the Feast of Tabernacles such a thing to rejoice over? And I want to bring this out just real quick.
It couldn't because of this, could it?
Oh, absolutely. It's because the atonement, you have come under his covering. You have accepted Yeshua's atonement and come under his covering, and now you are feasting with him.
So here's my question. Is it only you that's supposed to rejoice, or can Zach, maybe Zach can read a little more and we can figure out who's supposed to be rejoicing?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I just wanted to bring out that idea first. So Zach,
Well,
14.
hey, and here's the thing. He's commanding us in this verse to party.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so
shalt
on this,
rejoice.
Josh, just bring it up. One thing I find interesting, one of the commandments that's like fought against the hardest are the party commandments. Makes sense out of that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but yeah.
I do think that one of the reasons for that is it is an assault on the Greek austerity metric, which is that the more you suffer in life, the better a person you are. And
My one argument on that is that Yeshua was a wine bibber, which means he drank wine a lot.
Yes, a lot. Listen. the more you suffer in life, here's the truth. The more you suffer in life, the more you suffer. And that's how it is.
Well, and then in addition, Yeshua told the apostles, which applies to everybody in this case, that he'll give peace.
Yes.
The last time I read the dictionary on this word and suffering, they're opposites of each other, not similes or synonyms for each other.
Yes.
So
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
they do not go together. They're the opposites on the
They are the
opposite end of the
exact
spectrum.
antithesis of each other.
Yes.
Zach, could you go ahead and finish 14 for us, please?
And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast, thou, and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, thy maidservant, and the Levite, the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within thy gates.
Basically, everybody.
Yes.
No, it just says one son, singular daughter, singular manservant, singular maidservant. So everybody else can get.
One Levite
your
who
hand.
might happen
Raise
to
your
cross
hand.
your doorstep.
Are you a King James only person?
Hey, I mean, listen, and that
It's a party by
random
invite.
Levite who's going to show up on your doorstep, all right?
Well,
I'm actually joking in the extreme
It's
there.
a
but can I say something just real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's interesting. The Levite, the stranger in Hebrew ideology is the non-believer. Even the non-believer is to rejoice in this feast.
So literally everybody.
Everybody within your gates.
So that's within your land there,
Yeah,
within that
with the-
gate.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And then also, it is interesting that it lists 8 groups there, right?
Yes.
8
Oh, it does.
is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it does. Oh my goodness.
8 is the number of renewal, as in another way of saying is born again, as we've talked about before.
Or becoming Israel.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach, 15?
7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto Yahweh thy
Okay.
Elohim.
Elohim.
I have an issue here.
Oh, what's
Are we
that?
supposed to rejoice at the feast, or is it supposed to be a solemn feast? I'm confused.
Well, this is where words have multiple meanings, silly.
And I'm actually making that joke. Making that joke to bring out that point. Is that solemn doesn't necessarily mean long face. Oh, I must never crack a smile in my life.
Yes.
That solemn simply means serious. You get serious about feasting.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I'm a foodie and I get really serious about feasting. Let me tell you.
They get down to business.
Well, and what Ben's bringing out, Yahweh actually does specifically state that the meek shall inherit the fat, not the
Yes.
skinny, but of the fat, as in the multitudes.
Yes.
I've already done that.
I think Ben needs to start raising his hand before he talks too.
But the multitudes of the blessings that he gives us, okay? Not the skinny blessings, but the fat multitude of blessings.
Because what does Yahweh love to do? He
He loves to
loves
bless his children.
to bless
Yes.
his people
Mm-hmm.
with as much as he can possibly bless them with.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
It
So
brings
Zach
him
finishes up on 15.
Solemn feast unto Yahweh thy Elohim in the place which Yahweh shall choose. Because Yahweh thy Elohim shall bless thee in all thine increase, and in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt rejoice, surely rejoice.
So once again, this is showing that that solemn feast is not necessarily a straight-laced, straight-faced feast. It means
Right.
you're serious about feasting, you're serious about rejoicing in the blessings that Yahweh has given to you.
Yes.
So what
It's
is the
about getting
place?
down, getting down
What
to
is the
business.
place which
Right.
Yahweh shall choose?
Yeah, and it doesn't say the one place he shall choose.
I know. That's what I was. That's what I was getting at. So
Because
it's not
Jerusalem,
just. It's not a specific place per se.
well, I would say,
It is still a place that he shall choose, but it can be multiple places that he chooses.
yeah, for instance,
Right.
the fact that Jerusalem is a type and shadow of Zion, and the two
Right.
are often mentioned under that same heading, under that same sobriquet of Jerusalem, the same name of Jerusalem.
Well, what I was getting at, Ben, was what you said earlier.
Yeah.
Where is your house?
Yeah.
Well, so right now, a lot of
Because if
people celebrate it in various locations, somewhat because of practicalities.
Right.
But later on, you can't just do it anywhere that you want, as people do
Right.
right now.
Correct.
Right.
Because
Right.
there
Right.
will be a place that which Yahweh shall choose. There will be places which Yahweh shall choose.
Right.
Oh
So
yeah,
right
I
now,
agree with that.
right now we're kind of doing rehearsals. Okay. So do the best you can right now.
Correct.
Right.
Zach, verse 16.
3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before Yahweh thy Elohim in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles.
Yep.
And they shall not appear before the Lord empty, before Yahweh
Yep.
empty.
I will say this: I do believe the males is a translation issue from King James. It's been carried over. I do believe, as it mentioned in a couple verses just above, it's everybody that needs to gather. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So here's the interesting thing. Here's the interesting thing here. It calls Shavuot the Feast of Weeks, and that is because you're counting weeks, and then you're
Yeah.
because of the double count of
Yes.
weeks and days.
Yeah.
Right.
Now the Hebrews like to focus on the weekly Sabbath count. The Greeks like to focus on the 50 days after that count.
Oh yes, they do. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Continues it.
Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of Yahweh thy Elohim, which he hath given thee.
Okay. So basically, we're to give of our increase.
Isn't that a tithe?
That is tithing.
There you go.
What?
Well, okay, so I think this is beyond tithing. I think
Yeah,
this is
but
something
this is
separate.
also-
the
This is also
This
to
is
help
free
the poor.
will.
This is
Free
also to
will.
help the poor keep the feast.
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, good point.
Mhm.
All right. Verse 18, Zach.
Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee throughout thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment.
Now, it is interesting here. It says at the gates, not behind closed doors.
Correct.
Okay?
Right. So out in the open. Everything will be out
Yes.
in the open.
The gates back in ancient Jerusalem time were public gathering places. Okay.
Right. Okay.
This
Right.
also goes along with how Yeshua will be doing the final judgment at the gate.
Yes.
And everybody will agree with it. And unless it's public, how can they agree with it?
So here's another fine
Yeah.
point in this verse. Here's another fine point in this verse that's often missed. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates. This is a hint at how these judges and officers are to be chosen.
So are you saying it's not just the top-down thing, but it's the bottom?
Vote.
No,
No,
it's
it's
a
a vote.
Yeah, I know the bottom up
It's
is vote.
voting.
It's
Yeah.
it's democrat. It's somewhat democratic in
I'm
nature.
saying the word.
Lord, please.
It is by the voice of the people.
By the voice of the people.
Yeah.
Right, voting. Yes.
Yeah, the main issue with democracy is that people vote on the law. So that's not
That's not
democratic.
what's just going on.
I said it was democratic like. I didn't say it was
Oh,
democratic.
okay.
We missed the like. We missed the like.
Sorry
We
about
missed
that.
the like.
You missed the word.
We were talking
Yeah.
about that earlier, though, so it kind of triggered us a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, no, democracy in and of itself is horribly
It's a
flawed.
step to socialism.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
horribly flawed. But anyways, yes.
Verse 19, Zach.
Thou shalt not wrest at judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons. Neither take a gift for a gift. Doth blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous.
Yes,
Yeah,
don't
'cause
take
the verb here
bribes.
translated as gift actually it means bribe.
So no
Yeah.
quid pro quo stuff going on here?
No.
No,
So this has to do with judges, okay? So
right.
because if you want to give a gift to a friend, but as Ben brings out, it's not actually a gift, it's a bribe, okay? And a bribe goes along with how you're trying to twist and pervert righteousness, which judges are to do according to Yahweh's words, not for their own benefit.
So this
Right.
neither take a gift, that is basically a reiteration of the top clause in verse 19, which says, "Thou shalt not wrest judgment."
Yes.
Right. Right.
Which is perverting judgment.
Correct.
Yes.
Verse 20, Zach.
That which is altogether just shalt thou follow, that thou mayest live, and inherit the land which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee.
Okay, these verses may not speak directly to the Feast of Tabernacles, but they are crucial to understanding the time frame that we're talking about. The time frame we're talking about with the Feast of Tabernacles is the time that Yeshua comes in his second coming to live with his children.
Right.
As in, tabernacles is a type of the millennium.
Correct.
Here's something
Okay.
else.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
There is something else. A little gem for those of us who love Torah. It's in here. That which is altogether just shalt thou follow. There is only one thing that is altogether just, and that is the mind and will of Yeshua, which he revealed to us in Torah and through the words of his son and through the words of the prophets and through the words of prophets in the New World and through the words of the prophet Joseph Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it's cool he says that thou mayest live, because the wages of sin are death, right?
Yeah.
So, and this actually ties this back to the not to the fourth, to the fifth commandment: honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of parts to that fifth to help support the current theme. The father is Yahweh, and the mother is the law.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that is not the surface level there, but
No, I was going to say that's a little deeper.
yeah.
Yeah, but but you'll find it doesn't contradict the surface level.
No, does not. No.
Move to the next slide.
All right,
Let's
20,
move to the
21.
next slide.
Let's do it.
No, we're gonna move to the next slide because that kind of is off
Subject.
off subject. So yeah.
Okay,
So
right. Okay.
I'm gonna pause for 1 second.
All right. So Stephen, if you could pick us up in Numbers chapter 29, verses 12 through 19.
Yeah. And on the 15th day of the 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. And so this is going on with the weekly Sabbath again. And in addition, to help support that, you shall do no servile work, which is what you're paid for. And you shall keep a feast. Oh no. Who doesn't like to eat unto Yahweh 7 days. That's
Days.
I
Oh man.
I kind of like that.
I do too.
Yeah,
it means I won't go
eating,
hungry for a week.
feasting for 7 days. Whew.
I won't go hungry for a week. This is great.
And so this is like he's telling us to enjoy life.
Yes, that's
What?
exactly what he's saying.
Well, now I won't say too much, but considering that there's 7,000 years,
I was going to say there's
for
deeper
us
symbology to
live,
this, but yeah.
could 7 point into all of mortality?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you for confirming that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh.
Mhm.
So now it's going to say what it is. He wants it sweet because it's he enjoys this. Okay, 13 young bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year. They shall be without blemish. Do you want me to say something about that, or do you want to?
Well, let's just go ahead. What I would like you to do is just finish that first day.
Down this first paragraph.
Let's finish the first day.
Okay, all right. And their meat offering or bread offering, and if you don't believe me, just hold on 1 second, shall be of flour.
Oh,
That's what is it mingled with animals?
Mm.
So unless you're making meatloaf,
Oh, good.
this
no.
has to be bread.
Okay, all right. And the bread is mingled with oil.
Oh man, I thought it said animal fat.
I think you need to get your eyes checked. Your glasses prescription is not working right now.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
Is it okay to talk about that symbolism, or you have that later?
I don't have that later.
Okay, so I'll do this one then. So, flour, aka bread, represents the law. Okay,
Mhm.
and the
Mm.
oil is the Holy Spirit. They're mingled together like they're one.
Yes, when flour is mingled with oil to make bread, the bread is one single unit. Just like you have the written word is the revelation of the Holy Spirit, mind, and will of YHWH. Therefore, the written word is the flour of the Holy Spirit oil, that together they form the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. Now,
Mhm.
one of the definitions of spirit is behavior, and interestingly enough, we are to be holy as Yahweh is holy, and His word Torah tells us how to behave holy.
Now, if everyone who professed the desire to live according to the word were to treat the word not as a toy that they could choose which parts to interact with, but as the revelation of the living mind and will of YHWH, how much different would our how much different would our interactions with the word be if we kept this in mind?
We would actually starting to understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 3/10 deal onto every bullock of the 13 bullocks. I won't touch the bullocks because we're going to talk about those later.
Yes.
But the three, interesting to help support the flour, commandments, and oil, Holy Spirit, are both Torah. 3 in the symbolic symbolism points to the Holy Spirit and Torah. Okay. And tents, what is there anything that's related to 10?
Enlighten me, buddy.
The 10 divisions of
This is the Torah. It also means ordinal perfection. Law, perfection in the law.
Unto
Are you
every
telling me that Psalm says the law is perfect?
yes.
Okay, thank you for making it clear. So, anyways, okay, to read the last part, 2 rams and 14 lambs of the first year. Oh wait, no, sorry,
114.
I'm forgetting where I was. Back to 14 instead of 13. 2 tenths deals of each ram of the 2 rams. Now, 2 does point to the sun, which
Correct.
the rams point to, which we'll talk about more later, I believe.
Yeah, it is correct. We will.
15. And the several 10th deal to each lamb of the 14 lambs. So I would say that's 9.9 to 0.01 tenths of a deal. Yeah. And we'll talk about the 14 lambs later, I believe.
Yes,
Okay.
we will.
And 1 kid of the goat. So this is a goat that is a young goat as a kid.
Not
Like
within his
kids.
first year. Within his first year.
For a
So
sin
I
offering.
just want to ask a question real quick. When it talks about specific animal offerings that are to be offered, are these offerings that are to be offered by everyone or offerings that are to be offered by the Levites?
The Levites.
These ones right here are the Levites.
Okay.
Yeah, these are offerings to be made on behalf of the called out assembly.
Correct.
So to help support that, Josh, can you afford 13 bullocks
What?
And one day.
in one day? Because there's more the next day.
Yeah. Can you afford 13 bullocks and then 12 bullocks and then 11 bullocks?
I
and then
can't even
10?
afford 1 bullock. What are you talking about?
That's
So
Nobody on this call except maybe Steven could afford to buy 1 bullock.
no. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make out here is this is for the church done by the Levites.
correct.
Okay, and that was my
let's-
question. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Am I on 15 or 16?
16.
Okay. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. I think we're going to talk about that
We
later.
are. We will.
Besides the continual burnt offering, so I'm going to bring out this one. This is the wood offering that should never stop, which is burning wood all day long, every day, forever.
Is this
the cleansing fire?
Is this burning wood at the altar?
Yes.
Yes, that's what this is what gets be done on top of.
Yes.
I mean, this is, I think I said that wrong, so let me start again. This is what these other offerings are burnt on top of.
Yes.
Is the continual fire?
Yes, and now I do want to bring this out. This is the wood offering, which comes from trees, which represents man, how we are supposed to be purifying. This is
Right.
an internal thing. And these other offerings are on top of that, meaning if the inside is not being purified, all these other ones mean nothing.
Zero.
Okay, right.
Zilch.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because if you're not burning inside for Yahweh and his ways, the burning bosom,
If you're not,
nothing else, you can't have a fire to burn these other offerings on.
so yeah,
Right.
if you're not burning for Yahweh on the inside, you will be burning on the outside.
Oh, yes.
Like fire and brimstone and hell?
Yes.
And
Okay.
swat, swat, swat. Yes.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyways,
I need to be more serious about this. Sorry.
You need to raise your hand, even though you're the presenter.
Yeah, I know, right? That would be awkward. His meat offering and his drink offering. All right. So, oh, wait.
Wait. Well, the meat is bread, as we talked
Yeah.
about before, and his wine offering, okay, as an alcohol.
right.
Alcohol is actually a living drink, like living water.
Mm.
And it also goes along how you can have his peace always as an eternal life.
Oh, yeah. My dad had a funny saying about alcohol. You never bought it, you just rent it for a while. But
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. He's not wrong.
Oh gosh. So what I want to do with this is I want to go ahead and just read through all the days, then we will go back into it and just break it down.
okay.
Because I think it will help with the imagery of the bullocks.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
You want me to do 17 through
Yeah,
19?
17 through this whole page is you.
Okay. And on the second day, ye as in the church through the Levites shall offer 12 young bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the first year without spot. And their bread offering and their wine offerings for the bullock, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And referring to what's already been listed,
Mhm.
okay, because that's been established as the manner
Correct.
or the procedure, maybe in today's mannerisms.
Standard operating procedure. Right. Yeah. Your SOP. According to the SOP. But anyways.
And one can offer goats for a sin offering besides the continual burnt offering, which is the wood again, okay? And then we are supposed to be
Bread offering and
purified.
the wine offerings.
And
Yeah.
the bread offering thereof and their drink offerings, or the wine.
There's a lot of deforestation going
Well, yes, but you should be replanting.
on. Yes, you're absolutely correct. It's just funny. We've got a lot of tree burning though, because you have to keep it going over 48 hours. Oh, hell, the whole week.
So in Genesis it says multiply, and then the part that goes with this replenish.
I forgot. You forgot something. You reminded you. Yeah.
Just point out.
Yeah.
I will just point out that this offering is a continual burnt offering. It's not just going on for the Feast of Tabernacles.
That's true.
It's going on every day of the year, 365 Gregorian days.
So this is
Every day of the
something
year.
that's going on at the temple.
And 24 hours a day. It is not to go out.
If it does go out,
So this is going to require skilled,
Well, these are Levites that are on the job 24 hours a
yeah,
day.
so
They're taking turns, shift. They're not all on
not every,
24 hours themselves, but they're
That's-
taking turns.
as
Yeah.
far as that goes, not every Levite worked at the temple. There were Levites who tended the flocks of the sheep that were used to sacrifice at the temple. There were Levites who were husbandmen of the earth, growing the trees and other things
yeah,
that were part of the perpetual fire.
you had bakers, you had winemakers.
So the Levites were the Levites. Their charge and responsibility was the whole of the temple service.
Yes.
Now, if you wanted to donate things to help with that, that was accepted to help with the normal sacrifices and not just the ones that you want to do for you. But the Levites had to make sure there was stuff all the time.
Yes. Correct. All right, let us.
But just
sorry.
one last thing about that, the Levites, not all just being temple attendants and what have you. It was it was the shepherds that the angels appeared to when Yeshua was born were Levites, tending their flocks of sheep at night.
Meaning they were doing their duty or being faithful. Yahweh
And-
goes to and sends messages
And that
to
was
the
and that was
faithful.
why they were able to be visited.
Right, and then the faithful go give it to others.
Right.
Um,
Which they then did.
correct. So it's a wonderful example how Yahweh teaches everyone.
Right. Now that is pretty awesome. Yeah.
So we go on the next one.
Next one. We want to read all through Numbers 29.
Okay, I'll take 23.
Yes, please do.
And on the third day, 11 bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. Always that is always specified. And their meat offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks and the rams and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering every day, 1 goat. Because beside the continual burnt offering and his meat offering and his drink offering. So this is interesting. Some people say that the only place where the goat is not mentioned as a kid is on the 8th day. Guess what? That's not true. Here it is. On the third
There it
day,
is.
1 goat for a sin offering, not a kid of the goats, 1 goat.
There you go.
So this is one of those things where in one instance it's not specific, but in instances where things are not specific in the scriptures, we can look to the places where it is specified and we can gain further clarity and knowledge as to the nature of that goat.
As in looking for a pattern, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Because Yahweh doesn't say everything every single time, because if he did, he would never stop talking.
Right. You know,
Especially to us as backsliding children.
If he had to say everything every single time, you would have a chapter like Numbers chapter 29. And on the 4th day, 10 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meat offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks and the rams and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner, which has previously been specified. And 1 kid of the goats for the sin offering.
There you go, back to the kid.
Yep. Beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering and his drink offering. And on the 5th day, 9 bullocks, 2 rams. And you guys notice that the bullocks just keep shrinking by 1 every day?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yep. But I'm just pointing out the patterns as people can see. On the 5th day, 9 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without spot. And their meat offerings and their drink offerings for the bullocks and for the rams and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering. And see, here it is again. They're alternating kid of the goats with goat. And 1 goat for a sin offering beside the continual burnt offering and his meat offering and his drink offering.
Okay.
Next slide.
Andy.
29 through 40. Here,
Yeah.
let me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That is a
I've
little.
already got it. Okay, so go ahead and use mine.
And on the 6th day, 8 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meat offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering and his drink offering. And on the 7th day, 7 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meat offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering.
Yes.
Now, this is going to change a little. On the 8th day, ye shall have a solemn assembly. You shall do no servile work therein. There's the Sabbath.
Okay, so can we work on Tabernacles Day 2 through 7?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Yes. And the only reason, and a big thing that's going on here on the 1st and the 8th day, those are lunar Sabbaths.
Yes.
So there's nothing outside of lunar Sabbath that we're not supposed to work on the Day of Tabernacles.
Right.
And just something to consider if everyone's going to the same area without workers, that might be kind of impractical.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Slightly.
anyways,
36.
You ready?
Yep.
But ye shall offer a burnt offering, and sacrifice made of fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. 1 bullock, 1 ram, 7 lambs, the first year without blemish. Their meat offering and their drink offerings for the bullock, for the ram, for the lambs, shall be according to their number after the manner.
Mhm.
And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering, and his drink offering. These things ye shall do unto the Lord in your set feasts, beside your vows and your freewill offerings, for your burnt offerings, and for your meat offerings, and for your drink offerings, and for your peace offerings. And Moses told the children of Israel according to all that Yahweh commanded Moses.
So Numbers 28 and 29 actually cover the Levitical sacrifices related to the law of Moses, and also to the Sabbaths, the new moons, and the annual Sabbaths or the high holidays.
so Ben mentioned 3 types of days there. Or Sabbaths, sorry. Weekly Sabbaths, moonly Sabbaths, yearly Sabbaths. Okay.
So he really spells it out here.
Oh, absolutely. So let's move on to the next slide. So I really think that the actual symbolism is actually important. So the sacrificial offerings of symbolism for the offerings, let's look at the bullocks. Bullocks, it's all good. It's all good. Bullocks can represent costly acknowledgement of covering of our sins because of the need for reconciliation with Elohim. It's also symbolic of the blood of the covenant. And we get this from, do you believe it's Romans, or no, Hebrews chapter 9, verse 19, wherein Moses, he gives the particular animal the blood was from. The cleansing.
So let's talk about when Moses sprinkled
Yes.
the Israelites and mixed multitude at Mount Sinai. Okay.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
let me read that verse real quick. Hebrews 9:19. For when Moshe had spoken every precept to all the people according to the law, he took the blood of calves and of goats with water, with scarlet wool, and hyssop, and sprinkled both the book and all the people.
And the book he's referring to is the law.
Is the book of the covenant.
Yeah.
Or in other words, Torah. What we promise to keep, as in Mosiah 18 brings out, before we are baptized, we covenant to keep all of Yahweh's commandments, not just some of them.
Mm-hmm. And as you read in Torah and the sacrifices that the Levites are supposed to do, the first thing they are supposed to do on the sacrificial altar is to sprinkle the blood of bullocks upon the altar to cleanse it.
And so one of the interesting things is in the Old Testament telling of this tale of the sprinkling of the blood of the covenant. That is what Moshe refers to the blood of these bullocks as. It's the blood of the covenant.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
Which goes back to Yeshua's blood.
yes. It's Yeshua's blood that cleanses us.
And it's interesting that it's the blood of these bullocks is sprinkled upon the horns of the altar to cleanse the sacrificial altar
Yes.
at the beginning of these feasts.
In the horns represents power. Okay.
Yes.
It is Torah that power comes from when kept.
Yes. So also we noticed that the numbers of bullocks in the sacrifices went down from 13 all the way down to 7. Stephen, what does the number 13 represent?
So it has multiple meanings, and you'll see in pretty much every symbol there's two basic ones, and they're opposites of each other. So the context that's going along here is going to be renewal or returning.
Or restoration.
And then going back.
And interestingly enough, the 13 bullocks is on the first day.
Right. And then I think what John wants me to bring out, and then it ends with 7, okay?
Yes.
Which is perfection, completely doing it. So,
And you want to know a little fun fact that I just found out as we were teaching that section?
what?
Every single day, you know what the sum of all those numbers is? 70.
Oh,
And what is 70?
Yeshua.
It is.
Right. So, but on the 7, going from 13, I see goes with justification because you're returning.
Correct.
You're now in the kingdom, and 7 is sanctification. That now you've done it perfectly.
So
Yeah.
and when you consider that
So this is
feast, when you consider that the Feast of
7
Tabernacles
is good.
represents our tabernacling immortality, it's teaching us the purpose of our lives,
it's teaching us
which is
to become.
Come
To-
under
to
Yeshua.
come under Yeshua's covering, to keep his commandments and walk in his footsteps, to take his name upon us,
And
And helping others to do so.
and to be perfected in him.
and help
To help
others.
others to do the same.
Naturally, to help others do the same. Because honestly, if you're not helping other people to keep Torah, you're not walking in Yeshua's footsteps. I'm sorry.
Well, and you're not keeping Torah, to be
No.
honest.
So I do believe that walking in the footsteps of Yeshua kind of fully summates that whole idea of keeping Torah and helping other people to do the same, because that's what he did throughout his entire life.
I agree. I just think that's an important part to make clear to others.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. So because there is a serious problem in the Hebrew roots movement where Hebrew rooters are terrible about ministering outside of their little congregations.
But,
So-
right. They keep to themselves.
Are
And
you
then-
suggesting that Torah isn't kept in a vacuum?
Correct. And I will also go a little farther. If you think you can leave the world and be keeping Torah, Yeshua said to convert the world, not hide from the world. And you have to be in the world, not of the world,
Yeah.
to do that.
That's
Okay.
what that really means.
So.
Yeah.
We're ready to move on to the
That's
next.
that's
Yeah.
a big one, right? That's a big one right there. Be in
Absolutely.
the world, but not of the world. Mm.
Okay, so symbolism of sacrificial offerings, the 2 rams. So there's 2 different things that we can point to. There's the 2 rams represent the 2 sufferings of Yeshua. The first suffering in the Garden of Gethsemane, and the second suffering on the cross before he passed away. And there's an additional thing that this points back to before, and that is the 1 ram in the story of Abraham when he goes to offer his son Isaac as a sacrificial offering, not understanding what Yahweh meant when he said, "Offer thy son, thy only son unto me."
Which is Yeshua, actually.
Yes, right.
But according to Torah, that offering of the only son That is the firstborn that splits the matrix of every woman is Yahweh's.
Right, and so along with this, I can get links to some other recordings, but it goes out how Abraham misunderstood that he was supposed to give an offering for his son, not to offer his son.
Yes.
So just really interesting here, the two rams are offered each of the 7 days of the Feast of Tabernacles.
Mm-hmm.
That means that we are to bear in remembrance the price that Yeshua paid for us
Yes.
every day of our mortality.
Yes.
The one ram that is sacrificed is on the 8th day, which represents the kingdom of heaven.
After mortality,
mortality.
which is eternity, right?
And at that point, there will be just one ram. There will be
Mhm.
Yeshua,
Right.
one ram that was caught in the thicket,
As in
rescuing Abraham from his own foolishness.
and his misunderstandings.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right. Do you want to add anything else?
No.
Awesome. All right. Now the 14 lambs. 14 is a messianic number. It is talking about the messianic reign of Yeshua. Lambs without blemish. They are symbolic. And that is exactly every single offering with a lamb. It's a lamb of the first year without blemish.
It
And
either
it
says
is,
without blemish or without spot.
yes, which is the the symbolic embodiment of Yeshua. He was the lamb without blemish and without spot, whose covering we are to take upon ourselves, or come under, I should say. That we are
And whose name we are supposed to take upon.
Exactly.
and just to be explicit, the character, as
Yeah.
in First John actually brings out.
Yes, indeed. All right. Now, the kid of the goats, or a goat. It's because it points us back to the scapegoat offering that we talked about last week. And it is symbolic of Yeshua taking our sins upon him,
Now,
that we may repent.
now there's a really bad translation in the King James Version, which says that he became sin for us. And this is particularly loved by the lawless. But he didn't become sin. He
No.
took responsibility for the sins of those who would follow him.
And he
Right.
said it that way on purpose. For one example, Isaiah 53 brings out it's those who come under his covering, not everyone. Okay.
Right. And the other thing about that is because I also want to lay emphasis on would follow him, because that shows that we have a choice.
Yes.
We are not predestined to follow him. We are not, our choice has not been removed in the matter. We can interact positively of our own free will with the things of holiness.
So, Ben, what does endure to the end mean and imply?
Endure to the end means to steadfastly walk in the faith of Yeshua until the end of your life, or until you have of your mortal life, or until you have received your sanctification, and then to walk in that sanctification until the end of your mortal life.
Yes.
Correct.
So, does endure to the end and once saved and always saved go together?
Not at all.
No.
Because this doctrine of once saved, always saved, most particularly the idea the idea is taught in Tulip of limited atonement, which is that it's only for those who were predestined to receive it.
And if that's the case, why would they have to endure?
Right.
Right.
There's
It's already been decided. Yeah.
It's already been decided. There's no need for endurance at that point because
true.
you don't really have a choice.
Because someone else already made it for you.
In which case,
Oh, wait, that sounds like,
be married for tomorrow we die.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
wait, that sounds like somebody else's plan.
Yeah,
anyways.
there was someone else that wanted to guarantee things.
Yeah.
Which-
Who
which-
was
It seems a little
that?
bit like a once saved, always saved, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Critiques.
Sounds very satanic. Anyways,
The doctrine, the tulip doctrine is an invention of
Calvinists.
Calvinists. It comes from the pits of hell,
Amen.
and it was inspired by an evil man.
Who killed people, or actually better put, murdered people who didn't believe what he was teaching. So
Which
Oh,
is
yes.
really ironic because they couldn't have believed what he was teaching because they couldn't possibly interact positively with the things of holiness because they've already been predetermined that they could not.
So why was he so adamant that everybody had to believe it? Because it was predetermined beforehand. It's like he didn't believe it's an old doctrine.
Mere
The
trifles.
man was a liar.
Mere trifles. That's all.
The man was a liar.
Yes.
Was that John Calvin?
Right. Yes. We're
And,
talking about something.
and his spirit infects much of Reformed Christian theology.
Yes.
I would imagine mostly unknowingly because people take the words and opinions of men over what scriptures say about things. So
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this is the thing. He suffered and paid and took upon him the sins of all those who would follow him.
Yes. Not all men, but all who would follow him. That is an important distinction.
ready for the next
Yep.
one?
Let's
All right.
do the next. All right, here is the list of days and the numbers. Day 1, 13, 2, 14, 1.
And so
as
on
I
and
said
so forth.
before, the sum of the bowls and through the 7 days comes out to 70. And then you have Yah.
Just the one. There's
Just
only
the one.
one Messiah.
There is only one Messiah.
That is so cool.
And as we stated before, 70 points to the Messiah. And 13 goes with renewal or you're returning. And 7 goes with perfection.
Correct. This is actually, I'm really glad I was able to actually study this in detail. And Stephen helped out a great deal. I'm not going to short play anybody. I really do appreciate it.
I gave some suggestions and I helped them out.
Yes. But I also love the fact that the lambs go down to 7, which is the perfect embodiment of Yeshua.
And 12 means divine authority, governmental perfection, and completeness.
There's one thing on this table that I would contest, and that's where you say one adulthood.
Yeah, we
made a mistake. It's okay.
yeah, we that is not what I wanted to do. Sorry.
We have to leave this line.
I guess I can't edit it.
No.
So this goes along with how we're still figuring things out.
Yes.
And Ben helped us realize a mistake we made. So
That is correct, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next thing. All right, I will take up the shortest group of scripture. I'm joking.
No, you
But,
are the
but it
main
is.
presenter.
Yeah, I am. So Deuteronomy chapter 31, verses 10 through 13. And Moshe commanded them, saying, at the end of every 7 years. Now, this is talking about the land Sabbath and freedom, year of release.
Jubilees.
Or, well, yes.
Well, this is part of the Jubilee.
Yeah, part of the Jubilee cycle. You're right. At the end of every 7 years, in the solemnity of the year of release, in the Feast of Tabernacles, when all Yisrael is come to appear before Yahweh Eloheinu in the place which he shall choose. Thou shalt read this law before all Israel in their hearing. Gather the people together, men and women and children, and thy stranger that is within thy gates, that they may hear, and that they may learn, and fear Yahweh Eloheinu, and observe to do all the words of this law. Notice that he puts in and includes the stranger, because he doesn't want,
There is one law for Israel and for the stranger.
Yeah, and how well you determine the one law determines the reward that you get.
correct.
And in addition, I just want to bring out there's 4 groups of people there. And 4 goes with total.
Yes.
Here's,
And it's within thy gates.
and I would like to point one other thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
The law was simple. It was so simple that a child of 7 years old
So
could come to this gathering. Hebrews 7, they were allowed to come to this gathering.
yeah, so Hebrew 7, Greek 8.
Yeah. So a child of 7 years old could come to this gathering and begin to receive an elementary understanding of the law just by having it read every 7 years to him. They could understand and do the basics of the law.
So I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It's Hebrew 8, Greek 7.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, so this is that, the law was simple.
Yeah.
The law is simple. Easy to live, not so much. And are there commandments that we maybe forget about and have a hard time living from time to time just because they don't seem that important to us? Yes, but they are simple and easy to understand so that even a child can keep them.
So are you saying not one of oh my mind went the Yeshua in the New Testament brought out in Sermon on Torah, or more people know Sermon on the Mount, that one tittle or
Not one yod or one tittle shall pass from the law until all be fulfilled. And I can tell you that there are many things yet which have not been, many prophecies yet which have not been fulfilled, which are tied to the second coming of Yeshua.
Correct.
Not all prophecies are tied to the second coming of Yeshua, don't get me wrong, but many are.
Yes.
And they have not yet been fulfilled. They're not, you can't put them in a box saying, cross that one off. Don't have to worry about that again.
well, yeah, and I think there's a misunderstanding even on that part, but that's neither here or there. So let's
Yes.
The point is from reading these scriptures, the law is simple, that even children could live the law simply by hearing it read to them every 7 years.
Correct.
If there's a teacher that's trying to make it complicated, I would suggest you find someone else. Okay.
Correct. I'm going to read verse 12 again so we can read through 13. Gather the people together, men, women, and children, men and women and children, and thy stranger that is within thy gates, that they may hear, right? 4 groups, that they may hear, and that they may learn, and fear Yahweh Eloheinu, and observe to do all the words of this law.
It's interesting. There's four groups named, and there's 4 actions that are listed there as well. I don't know if anyone else picked up on that. 4
Hear,
groups, 4
learn.
actions.
Fear and observe.
Mm-hmm.
Hear, learn, fear, and observe.
And do. Observe to do.
So
Yes.
one thing I would like to bring out, this verse gets twisted for yearly parshas. It doesn't say read partly every week. It says read the law.
All
Right.
the words of this law, and that their children, which have not known anything, may hear and learn to fear Yahweh Eloheinu as long as ye live in the land whither ye go over Jordan to possess it. And it was interesting as I was preparing and Stephen was helping, he pointed out something. Jordan is the gateway, or it's the way into the promised land.
And who baptized in Jordan?
John the Baptist.
John the Baptist.
And who was baptized in Jordan?
Yes.
Yeshua.
Yeshua.
But let's go. You want to finish the thought, though?
Well, but that is the thought.
No,
Is-
there was a little more.
Oh, I
So
forgot
the
I'm sorry.
gate
Oh yeah.
to get. Okay, you remember?
No. I'm just.
Oh, okay. The
carrying
gate into heaven is water baptism. So here is water just before the promised land physically, and it's the same even spiritually.
Yeah, just like the crossing of the Red Sea was symbolic of baptism, and the crossing of the Jordan on dry land with the water stacked up on either side was further symbolic of baptism.
Yeah, in the promised
maybe-
land,
Rebaptism. But anyway.
the promised land goes with heaven that's promised those
Right.
who
Okay. All right.
and come under his covering. So
Yes.
Well, and the thing is Yeshua fulfilled all righteousness when he was baptized.
wait a minute, does that mean I don't have to be baptized?
No, what it means is that he fully taught all righteousness when he was baptized. If you're not baptized, you are not following in the way of righteousness.
I agree with Ben. I was being a little dork.
You're
But-
playing
I-
devil's advocate.
Yeah, to support that, if you go look at the Greek behind the word fulfill, it's plerou. And I do understand that even the Greek words have multiple meanings to them, but if you look at the context, it's fully preach. Okay.
Right.
Because the same word
Yeah.
is used in the same context by Yeshua to John the Baptist when he says, "Suffer it to be so now, to fulfill all righteousness,
Mm-hmm.
to plerao all righteousness."
As in, I believe that one was Matthew 3.
Yes, that was Matthew 3, and then in that same context, I did not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill, to plerao, to plerosai.
Which is Matthew 5, which is sadly controversial, which it shouldn't be, because people claim that fulfill means destroy, which he just barely said it's not that.
So if you're Yeshua saying, "I came not to destroy, but to destroy," well, you've got
I would have
That totally makes so much sense.
So either he's a nutter or that word doesn't mean what you think it means.
Correct.
and I'll testify it's the latter.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you are saying that he is a nutter, you have a lot of repenting to do, because Yeshua is anything far from a nut.
So do you mean he didn't turn to the left or the right?
That is correct. He is unchanging in all of his ways.
Okay, that clears up a lot, actually.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I will also say that as the Father, he revealed Torah. As the Son, he explained it.
Yes.
So those who didn't catch it, Ben's teaching modalism. So as in he had two modes, one of the Father and one of the Son. So
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. All right, Josh, pick us up in Zechariah.
Okay, Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16 through 21. Let's do it. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the king,
This is
Is-
very, this right here is
Lord of
evidence
hosts.
Torah is not against kings.
Right.
Right.
Well, worship the king, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
All right, stop just real quick. Okay, so this is another instance where Jerusalem and Zion mean the same thing. This is second coming prophecy here.
Yeah.
And the Feast of Tabernacles will still be honored during that 1,000-year reign.
I would go even a little further.
Well, right.
Eternity.
It's
There has
Because there was that magic word in Leviticus, forever.
Yeah.
That nasty, dirty F word. That nasty, dirty F word, forever.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, who wants to eat forever?
I don't know.
Oh, there's that reminds me of a song. But anyways,
May they be
who
ready.
wants to live forever? Anyways,
Yeah. Okay, so just letting you know, this is second coming prophecy.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I do understand King James puts the actual word Jerusalem. I do have a translation myself that goes to the meaning of the word, but it's pointing to Zion. So
Right,
we'll
right,
just
right.
leave it at that for now.
Okay, so 17. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth.
Oh, wait a minute. Is
That's
this just
everyone.
the bloodline of Abraham?
No, this is everyone of all the families of the earth. That's pretty clear. I
I
would
just
think.
okay. Thank you for clearing it up.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. All right, Stephen.
Underwear?
Families of the earth on to Jerusalem to worship the
Zion.
King, the Lord of hosts. Even upon them shall be no rain.
Okay, so I just gonna bring up Jerusalem is foundation of peace. Okay.
Right.
So if you don't go onto the foundation of peace and worship the king, you will be punished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will receive, and rain is a common symbol for revelation.
Yes,
Okay,
so there
right.
is there's the physical level where they literally won't have rain, as in their crops are going to fail, but you also are not going to receive revelation from Yah if you don't keep his commandments, which includes
The feast days.
and specifically tabernacles.
Tabernacles.
Well,
Yes.
yes. This is what we're specifically speaking about right now.
Specifically
Yes.
tabernacle.
You're absolutely correct. All right, Josh, 18.
Yep. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague, wherewith
Okay, so
Yahweh
I
will
only
smite
need
the
to
heathen
go
that
to
come
it if
up
I'm in
to keep the
Egypt.
Feast of Tabernacles.
So only if I'm the family Egypt do I need to keep it?
All the families of the earth.
Well, wait a minute. Why is he bringing up Egypt? I will say it's because they're a great example of what happens those who fight against the ways of
Yeah,
righteousness.
because Pharaoh literally fought against Yahweh.
Yeah, and including tried to keep them from keeping the ways.
Right.
And
Yep.
Yah, through a mortal man, Moses said, nope, I'm going to help those who want to keep it, keep it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he showed forth his power and glory through Moses.
That have no rain. So here we could actually substitute the singular plague with the plural plagues,
Yeah.
pointing us back to Egypt at the time of the first Exodus.
Well, especially if you read verse 19. Josh, read verse 19.
Right. Yeah. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. So anybody who fights against Torah, anybody who fights against his ways shall come under condemnation, not just condemnation, but cursing.
So those who were reading verse 18 and think you got an out from verse 17.
19
Verse 19 cleared that up real quick.
Yeah, 19 confirms 17. Okay.
Yep. In that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto the Lord, unto Yahweh. And the pots in Yahweh's house shall be like the bowls before the altar. Bowls, Bowls, not Bulls.
Balls.
Well, it sounds a lot alike when you're reading it out. So I
No, yeah.
figured I'd clarify that.
Absolutely.
Yea, every pot in Jerusalem and in Yehuda shall be holiness unto Yahweh.
The hosts.
Elahacha?
It would be Yahweh Sabaoth.
Yeah.
Oh, Yahweh Sabaoth. Okay.
Yeah, because
And all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them and seethe therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of Yahweh Eloheinu.
But wait a
Meaning,
minute, here's something interesting.
Go ahead.
All they that sacrifice shall come and take of them and seethe therein. All they that sacrifice, that is Levi that offers the sacrifice. And once again, they will eat of the offerings that they make. They will seethe in the bowls of the temple.
Right. And then in addition, no more Canaanites, meaning there will only be Israelites, as in those who have wrestled with Yah and men and have overcome, as in sanctified believers.
Yes, have been born again, therefore they are no longer.
In addition, in Ezekiel 40 through 48, it brings out how no non-believer will get into the temple, which is the Canaanite represents a non-believer. So this is also going along with that prophecy in Ezekiel 40 through 48. I don't remember the exact verse, sorry.
Yeah, it's all, but they are wonderful chapters. I highly recommend that you read them. Yes. Next.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
All right, Nehemiah.
Nehemiah.
Yes, Nehemiah. Ben, you want to do Nehemiah 8, 13 through 18?
Just
No, you're good. You're good.
Nehemiah 8,
Mm-hmm.
13 through 18.
Yep.
Okay. And on the second day were gathered together the chief of the fathers of all the people, the priests and the Levites, unto Ezra the scribe, even to understand the words of the law. And they found written in the Torah, which Yeshua had commanded by Moshe, that the children of Yisrael should dwell in booths in the feast of the 7th month.
Doing which month or month?
Seventh.
Not one?
Not one.
No,
okay.
not one.
I
2, 3, 4,
I'm a little
5,
confused.
8,
So
9, 10, 11, 12. No.
some people get 1 and 7 kind of mixed together.
They kind of blend, you know.
Well, if you're not careful about how you write them, you could mistake one for the other, I guess.
An elongated one.
Yeah, true. True. He's not.
Raise your hand.
You don't need to.
And that they should publish and proclaim in all their cities and in Jerusalem, saying,
In all their cities, not just Jerusalem, all of their cities.
But like it's where he puts his
All over the
character, which never says one spot.
Yes.
No, never
Another
does.
proof. Another proof that it's not just one spot.
Go forth unto the mount and fetch olive branches and pine branches and myrtle branches and palm branches and branches of thick trees to make booths, as it is written.
Hmm.
So the people went forth and brought them, and made themselves booths, every one upon the roof of his house, and in their courts, and in the courts of the house of Elohim, and in the street of the water gate, and in the street of the gate of Ephraim, and all the congregation of them that were come again out of the captivity made booths.
Okay, hopefully that's a good spot. I was trying to stop earlier. Sometimes I'm not the best with pauses, but in verse 15,
Yeah.
there's 5 groupings of branches, trees.
Yep.
Considering trees represent humans, could that be talking about mortality?
Oh yeah, especially
Yeah,
this
that's very good. Very good
Fine.
possibility. Yeah, maybe.
That's good.
Yeah. Which is the time we have to repent and come unto Yahweh,
Exactly.
right? Which goes along with what the continual burning has to deal with.
Yeah.
Right,
Here's
I got you.
and here's a really interesting thing from verse 17.
Okay.
If we're done, if we've said what we want to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
keep going.
For since the days of Yeshua, the son of Nun, unto that day had not the children of Yasharel done so. Those
Wow.
who say that Israel had ever tried to live the law missed this verse.
Right. Now, I also want to bring out this brings out how Joshua, the son of Nun, and Yeshua, the son of Joseph, has the same name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is another reason why when sacred namers say that Yeshua is not the right name, they don't know what they're talking about. It's referenced in the later scribes and the later prophets that the person who they call Yehoshua, the son of Nun, he's called Yeshua, the son of Nun, and that is the same person. So
Yeah, considering that they only make an issue of Yeshua's name and not Joshua's, kind of shows they don't know what they're talking about. Now,
Yeah.
I do know they're the same, but I do have a habit of still calling Joshua Joshua. So,
Yeah.
anyways.
well, it does help to differentiate between him and the Redeemer, though he was a Redeemer of the promise.
As in a pattern of 3 types of prophets.
Yeah.
Messenger, preparer, and redeemer.
And look at the end of 17. This is the promise that comes from living tabernacles.
There was very great gladness.
Yeah, and FYI, Joseph Smith at a wedding, quoting, I think it's Psalms, I'd have to double check on this one, that wine makes the heart glad,
Yes.
Yes.
which points to the atonement and joy.
Right.
Read 18, Ben.
Also, day by day, from the first day unto the last day, he read in the book Torah of Elohim. And they kept the feast 7 days. And on the 8th day was a solemn assembly, according unto
Into the manner.
Now, I want to add this real quick. For those who don't think their kids would like to celebrate tabernacles, what kid doesn't want 7/8 days of parties and feasting and being with their extended family? I'll tell you, my kids like these days.
I
So,
have to say that even though there's been a falling out with my mother's family in recent years, when I was growing up, I really looked forward to when we got together with them. And we were able to spend
Yeah.
time together. And so why do we struggle with this idea of gathering together for the feasts of Yahweh?
I would say
Well, for
false traditions of men.
Yeah, I was going to say for the same reason that we have a hard time obeying the law.
Yeah.
False traditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fear of men over
Well,
Yahweh.
It's also like it's more excuses to celebrate Yeshua,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. The problem is that people have been trained, the Christian training is that these days don't celebrate Yeshua, they celebrate Jewishness.
They can't show Ben and I a verse that actually says that.
Yeah.
It's the scriptures say they're Yahweh's holidays, not a particular group of people's holidays.
Right. The scriptures never once say that these holidays belong only to the Jewish people. In fact, almost all of the scriptures that iterate one law shall be for the natural born of Israel and for the stranger that is within thy gates. All the scriptures which state this are in connection to high holidays.
Remind me, I know my memory can be a little short, but didn't Zechariah, that we just read a little bit, say all the earth, not just the little descendants
Yes.
of Abraham?
Yes.
Yes.
So I
Every
did remember.
every family upon the earth, I think, or something to that effect. Yes.
So I guess my memory's not too bad on that point, I guess.
Not at all.
Everything else maybe I'm bad, but I mean, it was just a week away. So
That's
So, Stephen, you wanted to talk about John, so I want you to go ahead and read John chapter 2, verses 2 through 10.
Interrupt yourself.
You can interrupt yourself to your heart's content. I might interrupt you, but you go.
now okay, so it seems like it's going against something we just said. But we got to remember who this John's
John 2.
letter.
Is this really John 2 or is this First John 2 or
No, this is John, St. John 2.
Okay, 2 through 10, because I've got at 2, both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause for
Okay, yep.
What might be First John?
It might be first.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I wasn't quite ready. Sorry, guys. All right. Well, we had to do a slight edit on the slide because I put the wrong chapter, like a genius. It's actually John chapter 7, verses 2 through 10. So, Stephen, if you could take it away.
Yeah, now the Jews' Feast of Tabernacles was at hand. So now this may look like it's going against what we said earlier, but keep in mind this letter was written to Greeks, and in the Greeks' mind, the Jews were Yahweh's people. Okay, so at times there's descriptive elements in the scriptures and not prescriptive, which means this is how it's supposed to be. Okay, so it's describing it how the Greeks thought about it, which ironically, considering that the whole world has a Greek mindset right now, it's still that's how the world thinks of it.
Mhm.
And it's a descriptive way of saying it, not a prescriptive or the way it should be. Okay. So verse 3, his brethren therefore said unto him, depart hence and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest. For there is no man that doeth anything in secret. Wait a minute. And he himself seeth to know openly. So let's bring out how you can't hide anything from Yahweh. Okay.
Right.
Thou do these things, show thyself to the world. Oh, this sounds like Sermon on Torah.
Mhm.
To
Yeah.
put
Oh, they
light
don't hide your light under a bushel.
Not
Yeah.
hide it under a bushel.
Let the
Mhm.
light shine.
The main thing that we have to bear in mind, however, is that this is his brethren talking to him. And they're telling him, make yourself known as the Messiah.
Right. Oh, okay. So, it wasn't time yet, which would be going on there, but let's see what goes on. For neither did his brother believe in him.
Right.
Uh,
Came unto his own, and his own received him not.
Then Yeshua said unto them, my time is not yet come, but your time is already,
Always.
already ready. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it that the works thereof are evil. Go ye up unto the feast,
Unto this feast.
unto
yes.
this feast, and go not unto this feast, for my time is not yet full come. And later, it does bring out how Yeshua does go to it. Okay,
Yep.
when he said these words unto them, he abides still in Galilee. But when his brethren, oh, it's going to say it here, and when his brother had gone up, then went he also unto the feast, not openly, but as it were in secret. So he kept the commandments, but it wasn't time to tell the world he was the Messiah.
Correct.
Right.
So once again, though, I do like when I teach the high holidays, I like to pull references that teach from multiple sources that teach about what that state that it actually happened. And the Feast of Tabernacles definitely happened
So here's
during his time.
So here's an interesting thing. They go to great lengths to make sure that you understand that he did go up for the Feast of Tabernacles.
Mm-hmm.
As in, he was the lamb without
Blemish.
blemish or
Sin.
spot, which is sin.
That's right.
Right.
He was keeping his father's. He was keeping the father's law.
Right.
Right. Yep.
Is there
Yep,
anything
yep.
If Yeshua was, as the Christians represent him, defiant of the law and setting it at naught, he would not have gone to tabernacles. And they would not have made such great lengths to make sure that we understood that he did.
Now, I will just clarify. Not all Christians say that. Some Christians say it's after the cross that went away,
Right.
not before. So that there's confusion. But I do agree with Ben that for him to be able to perform the atonement, he had to keep Torah perfectly, because otherwise he would have to pay the consequence or sin wages, which is death himself.
Yes.
And so he would never be able to break the bonds of death because he would have to pay it for himself. But the reason that he could break it is because he did not have to pay it for himself.
Yes.
Right.
Meaning he kept tabernacles, which is going on here. Okay.
Yes.
Next one.
Yes.
Oh, maybe.
And we are going to go
Book of
to the
Mormon.
Book
Here
of
we go.
Mormon in preparation for King Benjamin's epic address, in which he talks about the Messiah, and he talks about him coming down in the tabernacle of flesh. Now, I don't have that part of the sermon here, but what I want to focus on is there are certain things that I want to focus on, and I'm going to read this last slide. This is the last slide. If you've made it this far, thank you for staying with us, because this, for me, has been an absolute honor and privilege to learn about this high holiday. So without further ado, I will go ahead and start reading Mosiah chapter 2, verses 1 through 8. And it came to pass that after Mosiah had done as his father had commanded him, which King Benjamin told Mosiah to write a letter to all the land, telling them to come up to the temple, because he wanted to make an announcement. He wanted to make public knowledge that Mosiah was now to be the king, and had made a proclamation throughout all the land that the people gathered themselves together throughout all the land, that they might go up to the temple to hear the words which King Benjamin should speak unto them. And there were a great number, even so many that they did not number them, for they had multiplied exceedingly and waxed great in the land. Now these people that they're talking about, these people are of the tribe of Manasseh, which is of the tribe of Joseph, the children of Lehi. And they also took of the firstlings of their flocks that they might offer sacrifice and burnt offerings according to the law of Moses.
So this is something that's really cool here because this is showing that people would take of their own things and take of their own lambs and donate to the Levites in the temple, that burnt offerings could be made according to the law of Moses.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say one thing about the law of Moses. Law of Moses is Torah plus a punishment that happened at Sinai, which is primarily the two-day lambs. So, although it says law of Moses here, law of Moses includes Torah. And the Moses part, or the punishment part, is the two daily lambs, with a few other little offerings also on other days. And so this includes Torah, is not exclusively Torah, if that makes sense.
Correct.
Right.
And also that they might give thanks to Yahweh Eloheinu, who had brought them out of the land of Jerusalem, and who had delivered them out of the hands of their enemies, and had appointed just men to be their teachers, and also a just man to be their king, who had established peace in the land of Zarahemla, and who had taught them to keep the commandments of Elohim, that they might rejoice and be filled with love towards Elohim and all men.
Now, I think this is really important because this is the same way that in the new translation of Genesis, Melchizedek is described.
Yes.
Established peace in the land of Salem and taught them to keep the commandments of God, the ways of righteousness.
Yeah, because there's a lot of misunderstanding of what a peacemaker is, I will say this is those who establish peace and teach it to others such that they can know where to receive peace themselves. It's not a peacekeeper that gets pushed around nowadays. Okay?
Right. Well, I something that I just saw here. Right. If we keep, he taught them to keep the commandments of Elohim, and if we keep the commandments of Elohim, that's where we find joy. That's where we are filled with love for Elohim and all men, and in the
Wait a
keeping
minute.
of it.
So that sounds like if you love me,
Keep my
was that?
commandments.
Oh yeah, and who said that?
Oh, wait, Yeshua, like 50 million times.
Specifically in John 14:15.
Right, but 50
million times in that one chapter. But anyway, yeah, anyways.
I don't
And
know if
throughout.
I did this on purpose or accident, but 50 points to the law.
Yeah.
It was by accident, but yes.
Accident.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but it was totally either.
Yeah.
It was a very happy accident. Now,
Fortuitous.
so notice what's about to happen. Yeah, notice what's about to happen here. And it came to pass that when they came up to the temple, they pitched their tents round about, every man according to his family, consisting of his wife, and his sons, and his daughters, and their sons and their daughters, from the eldest down to the youngest, every family being separate one from another.
Are you suggesting a tent could be translated
As
sukkot?
Yes.
As a booth.
As a booth.
Or a tabernacle?
Yes.
Or a booth?
Booth?
Yes.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I figured you would. I
swine.
And they pitched their tents round about the temple, every man having his tent with the door thereof towards the temple, that thereby they might remain in their tents and hear the words which King Benjamin should speak unto them. Now, King Benjamin does teach about the law, but he teaches them about Yeshua and his coming ministry also.
So he didn't say, follow me.
No,
He said, follow Yeshua.
he said, follow Yeshua. And the only way you can do that, verse 4 holds the key. Keep the commandments of Elohim so you can be filled with love towards Elohim and all men.
So it's like he kind of followed the pattern of John the Baptist, how John said he would
Huh.
decrease and their relationship with the Messiah would increase.
What?
John didn't try to keep him dependent upon him, did they?
No.
Did he?
No.
I don't know.
No, as a matter of fact,
Oh.
he sent them to follow. He sent his followers to follow Yeshua. He's like, yeah, my
Similarly,
time's over. Go with him.
and
Yeah.
similarly, King Benjamin with these people gets them to the point where they have that
Born
powerful born again experience with the Holy Spirit that renders them in that place, that puts them in that place of joy, and that makes them no longer dependent upon Him, for they understand the joy of their Redeemer.
Right.
And they're filled with the desire to keep His commandments. And I do believe it's stated that none of that generation was lost.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's in
Was that?
Isaiah 6, if I
Yes.
remember correctly.
Yes. For the multitude being so great, and this is one of the amazing things. The multitude was so great that King Benjamin could not teach them all within the walls of the temple. Therefore, he caused a tower to be erected, that thereby his people might hear the words which he should speak unto them.
So I do want to bring out one thing. So, what were these groups including? Was it children?
Yes.
Yeah.
So children inside the temple.
Oh my gosh! You're not insisting that you don't have to be 12.
Yes, I am.
Oh my gosh! I agree.
The temples in the Book of Mormon and the Bible are not like Brighamite LDS temples, is what I'm getting at to be
Torah,
specific.
They're not
and from
necessarily exclusive.
And from Torah, we can gather that these children were from Greek 7, Hebrew 8, and up. Because this would have been in the 7th year.
So I do believe they would take children younger than that, but the ones that would have been covenanted to
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah, that's true, because you might have just been born that year.
Yeah, there is logistic issues of
who's gonna
mothers not
babysit
leaving their
when everybody's supposed to
1-year-old behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, dear.
Because you have an infant, you cannot be in the temple.
Suddenly, and suddenly
I
you
doubt
find
that.
and you come back and you find that your 1-month-old is suddenly erected a preschool Lord of the Flies in your house. Suddenly.
Yeah. So the intent of being bringing out, yes, it's the covenant at 8 Hebrews, Greek 7, but there is some logistic things.
Infants.
That they're not really gonna, like infants.
They're gonna leave their infants behind. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, but yeah, and you don't know when in that 7th year somebody was born. So,
Right. Well, and then there's toddlers too. I mean, toddlers, you can't leave
Well,
them behind
but
necessarily.
in that, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. You don't know when in that 7-year span somebody was born, but if they're alive in that 7th year, you got to take them with you, because otherwise that's.
Well, that's their covenant year. Yeah, that's their covenant year. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the celebration where you're together for tabernacles is every year.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true.
I think you're getting a
It's
little
the 7th
confused with some of the
Well,
Jubilee stuff.
now the main thing that the reading of the law is on the 7th year. And he's not really reading the law so much as he's teaching them about
Yeah, sure.
that which makes the law efficacious to us for anything besides damnation.
Correct.
Right.
Yeshua.
Correct. And
Yeah.
it came to pass that he began to speak to his people from the tower, and they could not all hear his words because of the greatness of the multitude. Therefore he caused that the words which he spake should be written and sent forth among those that were not under the sound of his voice, that they might also receive his words. These words are so important, and the words are, Yeshua is your Savior and your Redeemer. He is the Lamb without blemish. He is the one who will bring you joy if you repent
And he will tabernacle in the
in
flesh.
flesh.
Yes. So, Mosiah 2 through 5 goes through the themes of tabernacles. And yes, there's an obvious one of Sukkot, tent, tabernacle, booth. It's the same thing, just a different word. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is the last bit of that. I just want to go ahead, guys, and just let you know that this has been an absolute honor and privilege to be able to teach about Sukkot, about the Feast of Tabernacles. I've gained a greater appreciation for what Yeshua has done. And I look forward to the opportunity to be able to go out in rejoicing and welcome to this earth, my Savior and Redeemer, and dwell with him when he comes again, which is what Tabernacles is all about. Dwelling with Yeshua, walking with Yeshua, and being with him. And I just want to say these things in the name of Yeshua the Messiah, and I will give opportunities to give closing remarks to anybody else who wishes to give them.
Okay, so I really just want to say that this is a joyous season. We have gathered together here in our temporary dwelling place, which we pay for month to month. We are, and we are all overjoyed to be together. And we are grateful for this opportunity. We've been rebaptized, we've recommitted ourselves to living the law, to walking in his footsteps. We are feasting, we are celebrating, we're having a good time, we are enjoying the fat of the land, and we are doing so because Yeshua promised us that we could, if we would but keep his Sabbaths and be his people. Why don't you guys choose to be his people? So that he can cause you to walk in green pastures, to eat of the fat of the land, be the meek, so that you may inherit the earth with Yeshua, our Redeemer, who tabernacles with us.
So one thing I'll just add real quick is if you don't want to be like the Messiah, Yeshua, today, and you don't want to be around the people that are striving to be like him today, as First John brings out, you're not going to want to do that in the next stage of life. So if you think you don't want it here and you want it there, you're deceiving yourself. I highly recommend that come under his covering and become like him. Show him. Don't just say it. Show him that you love him by keeping his commandments, as he stated to the believers, and how to show their love for him. It wasn't by professing it by their mouth. It was by doing. And interestingly enough, love is shown by choice after choice after choice. Real love is shown that way, not lust. Lust is shown by words. Love is shown by actions.
It's an interesting thing is that Yeshua, he says, if you love me, keep my commandments. And what he's meaning here is if you choose me.
Yeah.
If you choose me, you'll keep my commandments.
Mhm.
Because in the Hebrew definition of love is choosing someone. Hating someone is choosing someone else.
Stop hating Yeshua. Choose him. Amen.